Hello, it's crime time, and today's crime is about little Harmony Montgomery who vanished in 2019. But it took authorities 2 years to even start looking for her. Now her dad, Adam Montgomery, has been nailed with a murder conviction for her disappearance. Meet Harmony Montgomery, born June 7, 2014. A little firecracker from Haverhill, Massachusetts. Starting off with her mom, Crystal, Harmony faced challenges early on with her right eye, but rocked those glasses like a boss. Crystal paints Harmony as a sweet, sharp, kind-hearted chatterbox who couldn't get enough of Minnie Mouse. Since Crystal struggled with substance abuse, she lost custody of Harmony to the state shortly after her birth. Harmony spent most of her life bouncing between foster homes and living with her biological mother. Her father, Adam Montgomery, had little to do with Harmony until he gained custody of her in February 2019. Harmony went to live with her father, stepmother, and two half-siblings in Manchester, New Hampshire on Guilford Street. In November 2021, Harmony was reported missing and was discovered that no one had been able to locate her for the past 2 years. Crystal, her mother, remained active in Harmony's life in Massachusetts. Around Easter, Crystal had a FaceTime call with Harmony, with Adam present. During the chat, Crystal noticed Harmony seemed scared and uncomfortable with her father's presence. When Crystal tried to question Adam about his behavior, he became angry, told her to mind her own business, and ended the call abruptly. Crystal spent the next 20 months desperately trying to get back in touch with Harmony. She called Adam numerous times, contacted his family in Florida, and even searched various areas of Manchester, but they were nowhere to be found. During a visit in July 2019, Adam's uncle Kevin Montgomery noticed Harmony had a black eye and witnessed Adam using harsh punishments on her. He reported this to the Division of Children, Youth, and Families, DCYF, anonymously. A social worker investigated but found the abuse allegations unfounded in their report, though they noted the family was at high risk for future child welfare concerns. In January 2020, another concern was raised about one of Adam's other children, leading to a visit by a social worker who noted Harmony wasn't home. Adam claimed she had been visiting her mother in Massachusetts since Thanksgiving 2019. This marked a point where information between Crystal, DCYF, and the police began to contradict. In January 2022, DCYF was notified that Harmony was now supposedly in her mother's custody. However, attempts to confirm this with Crystal were unsuccessful, leading to further confusion and frustration over Harmony's whereabouts. The person responsible for removing her had a conflict of interest as he knew Adam personally, being his counselor. Despite 3 attempts to intervene, they didn't act because of this conflict. I later learned from Mauricio that previous reports had been made, leading to questions about Harmony. I hadn't heard from her, and the person involved did little to help, so I contacted the mayor out of desperation. Hours later, Manchester police called, initially refusing to take a missing persons report due to custody issues. They directed me to court, where I was sent back due to ongoing DCYF involvement. It felt like they were avoiding responsibility. Eventually, the police got involved seriously after suspicious details emerged. I hope people will speak up. Someone must know something. There were multiple calls to DCYF about the children's safety between January and March, but Harmony wasn't returned, and Adam claimed she was with her mother. Despite Crystal's efforts, DCYF didn't act upon a friend's report that Harmony's mother hadn't seen her since April 2019. Crystal's numerous calls to the Manchester police only resulted in a report being filed on November 18, 2021. Police then contacted DCYF for Adam's addresses, but found him and Harmony missing from all locations provided. On December 21, 2021, investigators turned to finding Adam, reaching out to his family in Florida. Adam's half-brother, Michael, voiced concerns about Adam's potential abuse of Harmony, supported by Uncle Kevin's earlier report to DCYF in July 2019. Kevin also suggested Adam might be using drugs again. Investigators later spoke with Adam's wife, Kayla, who hadn't seen Adam since October 2021. and last saw Harmony November 2019 when Adam dropped her off at her workplace at Dunkin' Donuts in Manchester. After telling Kayla he was taking Harmony to her mother in Massachusetts, Adam dropped Kayla off at work on November 30th, 2019, and supposedly returned Harmony to her mother. Kayla didn't see Harmony again after that. In a December 2021 interview with police, Kayla confirmed this account, mentioning Adam's explanation of Harmony's black eye as an accident involving another child's toy. She informed investigators that Adam had stayed in a sober house and then moved to Maine with another woman. Feeling frustrated by the lack of action, Crystal emailed Manchester Mayor Joyce Craig on December 29, 2021, expressing concerns about Harmony's well-being and criticizing DCYF's handling of the case. 2 days later, following Crystal's email, Manchester police publicly announced Harmony as missing. On the same day, patrol officers found Adam and his girlfriend, Kelsey Small, sleeping in a vehicle in Manchester. Investigators arrived at the scene and spoke with Adam for 45 minutes. Initially hesitant to comment on Harmony, Adam eventually claimed she was alive when pressed by investigators. His girlfriend, Kelsey Small, revealed she had been with Adam for over a year and knew about his children, but said Adam wasn't in contact with any of them and never mentioned Harmony. Later that day, police found Adam again and served him with a court order demanding information about Harmony's location. He was detained and questioned further, claiming Harmony was with her mother in Massachusetts. This conflicted with Kayla's earlier statement. Investigators then spoke with Crystal's boyfriend, who denied Harmony lived with them in 2019 and stated he had never met her. On January 2, 2022, investigators searched Adam's former residence on Guilford Street in Manchester with the cooperation of the new owner. Cadaver dogs searched the house and the backyard was thawed with hot water to aid in a sonar search for buried items. Crystal suspected Adam either hid Harmony with his little-known mother in Florida or sold her, possibly inspired by recent events involving her adopted son. She believed Adam might have seen an opportunity after her son's adoption was in the news. Concerns about human trafficking and organ harvesting at the time added to her fears. Despite Adam's lack of cooperation, conflicting statements and accusations of abuse, he was arrested for second-degree assault. Adam's criminal history began at age 18 when he stabbed and pushed a boy from a moving car during a drug deal. In 2014, he was sentenced to 18 months in prison for armed robbery, assault with intent to murder, and discharging a firearm. Over the years, Adam faced charges including assault, stalking, drug abuse, and burglary. After his January 4, 2022 arrest, Adam gave conflicting statements about Harmony's injuries, initially denying knowledge despite previous reports. He attributed DCYF's involvement to a dispute over unpaid bills with his uncle, Kevin Montgomery, who accused him of drug use. Adam claimed the police and DCYF visited due to a power outage at their home, though they had a generator running. He later stated that they were evicted from Guilford Street in 2019 due to unpaid mortgage, moving into their car briefly before staying with Kayla's mother, Chris. During questioning, Adam contradicted himself about Harmony's whereabouts, initially denying he ever said she was with her mother in Massachusetts. He became uncooperative and refused to elaborate further. Investigators noted his lack of concern when informed that Harmony had been missing for over 2 years. 2 days later, Kayla was arrested for alleged welfare fraud for not reporting she no longer lived with Harmony while collecting food stamps. In April, Adam and Kayla faced charges related to stolen guns, including a shotgun and AK-47 style rifle allegedly taken in 2019. Kayla pleaded not guilty and was released from prison after 4 months on May 7th. After Kayla's initial arrest, she was instructed to check in daily with Manchester police and continue substance abuse treatment. Investigators discovered discrepancies in Kayla's claim about working at Dunkin' Donuts on the day she last saw Harmony. Records showed she hadn't worked there since November 23, 2019. In May, Kayla testified before a grand jury but maintained she had been truthful. Investigators verified her employment history at multiple Dunkin' Donuts locations, confirming she had not worked there on the claimed date. Kayla was arrested again in early June for perjury after admitting Adam had told her to lie to the grand jury about Harmony's whereabouts, claiming he had murdered Harmony and instructed her to provide an alibi. Police released Kayla without conditions after her initial arrest, but she was arrested again on a bench warrant in September for missing a hearing. Bail was revoked, and in November, Kayla agreed to a plea deal requiring her to plead guilty to 2 counts of perjury related to Harmony's disappearance. She faced up to a year and a half in prison and must cooperate in future legal proceedings, including trials involving gun theft and her husband, Adam. Harmony's mother, Crystal, expressed disappointment at Kayla's lenient sentencing, feeling upset upon hearing from investigators. Kayla Montgomery reached a plea deal, admitting to perjury charges in exchange for less than 2 years in prison and cooperation in the investigation into Harmony's murder. Despite implicating her estranged husband Adam in Harmony's death, Kayla has not been accused directly. The investigation included a search of their former apartment and recovery of potential DNA evidence, which led to Harmony being declared dead on August 11, 2022. Investigators believe Harmony was murdered on December 7, 2019, although her body has not been found. Adam Montgomery has been charged with her murder but pleaded not guilty, and a motive has not been disclosed publicly. Harmony's case has sparked public speculation, as Adam remains silent and awaits trial for alleged involvement in her disappearance. Some believe he may have sold her to human traffickers, with only him knowing the truth. Adam is also facing charges related to gun theft, and his trial has been delayed due to new evidence emerging, including testimony from Kayla Montgomery implicating him in Harmony's death. The delay has frustrated the court, highlighting issues in evidence disclosure. Amid legal battles, the verdict was full of uncertainty. The foster family tried to adopt her, but custody kept returning to her biological mom, who eventually lost it again. In early 2019, custody shifted to her father, despite his troubled past, a decision that now seems questionable. Meanwhile, Harmony's half-brother Jameson was happily adopted by the Millers, only learning about Harmony later on. The family fondly remembers Harmony, marking the 3rd anniversary of her disappearance with a quiet memorial in Haverhill, Massachusetts. Crystal Montgomery hopes to find closure and plans to celebrate Harmony's life once her body is found. If you enjoyed this video, you might want to check out this one.